What's up, Juventini? Welcome back to the AJC, your channel dedicated to Juventus. We come off the 1-1 draw with Roma there, and again, some are talking improvements, and others are talking same old around this Juve. And one thing, we have given ourselves maybe a lot less room for error moving forward, looking at the schedule ahead, as the chase for top four is critical. All right, so we are gonna break it all down, the game and everything in the aftermath, and take a look at the news that's out today on Juventus, with a couple, not really bombs, but a couple of big key points in the news today. To join me and break everything down, I got Sev and Omer. Fellas, how you doing? Sev, how you doing, brother?
I am good.
All right,
A little
Omer.
pissed, but we're good.
Pissed but good. Hey, I like pissed because that'll bring some energy. Omer, how you doing? Guns up.
Yeah, I'm great. Yeah, guns out, sun's out, birds out, whatever. And yeah, just I'm relatively positive about yesterday, to be honest. We'll get into it later, but I'm not feeling that bad.
Well, I mean, of course, you got the guns out. It looks sunny. It looks nice there. We got Sev freezing on the East Coast over here.
I'm jealous. I'm jealous of Omer.
So that might reflect
you know-
attitudes on the opinions that we see today. We'll see how it goes. We got, cold and miserable, sunny and nice and happy and positive over here. So let's have some fun today, everybody. All right. What's up to the army? Everybody joining in here. Take a second, like the video, everybody. If you're new to the channel here, it's your one-stop shop for everything Juventus. So hit that subscribe button and join us as we continue to follow our beloved Vecchia Signora. All right. So cause shake in there. Justin B, our boy, RB Comms, Forza Juve, Tony Roast Beef. All right. Erected Sned. Holy smokes, man. That's pretty morning wood, I guess. For me, it's 5:30 in the morning, all right? So already erect here. We got Sned. Let's rock and roll, everybody, all right? And, of course, we got Mitch in here. Let's rock, okay? So in the news, just a couple key points. We're going to get this one going, and it is that Fabrizio Romano apparently is claiming that Lookman is serious target for Juventus. All right, so dealing with Atalanta, if you didn't have enough of that with Cope Miners, strap on those seatbelts, buckle up, all right, because apparently we're heading down that road. We'll get to that in the aftermath. The other one is Sky Sport reporting that Juve has already informed PSG that they will not look to retain Kolo Muani. Okay? There is more in the news that we're going to get in the aftermath after talking to the game that all kind of lumps everything together when we're talking about performances and we're talking about some of the news coming out around players on the roster, all right? So let's, without further ado, get into this game. Your starting lineup, Di Gregorio in goal. At the back line, we didn't really have options, okay? So we're still waiting for Gatti to come back, get fit. So it's pretty straightforward. Kalulu, Vega, and Kelly. Then you're going to get to your midfield. The one switch out of the projected lineup that we heard the entire way through was Weah was going to step in to push Nico Gonzalez further up. And then the rest of the midfield was straightforward. Locatelli, Thuram, and McKennie. And like I said, Nico Gonzalez moved forward next to Yildiz behind Dusan Vlahovic. I actually didn't mind this lineup whatsoever. And when we saw it play out, the sides were reversed for Weah and McKennie. And McKennie ended up starting out on that right side, Weah on the left. But Omer, when you saw that lineup, what were your first thoughts?
Yeah, it basically picks itself. I mean, that's what I would have done. The wing swap caught me off guard, but I don't think it was too bad. I actually think Weah was decent there with some good crosses, and McKennie a bit more familiar with the right wing role. Played it also under Allegri. No, I liked it. I had no issues. Again, I kind of expected Dusan to play, but I did want to see Colomwani from the beginning. But it is what it is. So, yeah, seems positive at first.
There you go. And Sev, your thoughts? Lineup?
99% was fine. I would have liked either Colo or Conceição on that right side
Okay.
instead of Nico. But other than that, I had no issue. I mean, we all know Cambiasso wasn't starting this, so that would have been my only thing. But yeah, that's it. Nothing else.
All right. And we gotta take a minute here because we got Tuna with the birthday. All right. So big shout out to Tuna.
Oh.
Happy birthday, brother. You also share your birthday with the one and only Martin Caceres, who apparently is a transfer target for Juve again this summer. All right, so let's run it back again with Caceres. But happy birthday, Tuna and Caceres. Holy smokes, what a guy to share your birthday with. Beauty stuff. All right, so shout out there to Tuna. Auguri. Now, let's get into this, okay? So the lineup, yeah, I mean, I'm curious when it comes to Chico Conceição to see him. I liked what I saw in the cameo in the first game against Genoa when he stepped on. I'm curious to see a little bit more him with some freedom to see if it can get him into some more team overall play. But again, these are question marks that might surround us. And again, there's a theory going on with Tudor and guys that are going to get the majority and brunt of the minutes down this stretch. And it has a lot to do with contract situations. We're going to get your thoughts on that when we get to the aftermath. All right, so let's get into the highlights here, okay? So we kick things off, and I think, man, I tell you, especially the opening 15 minutes, it was like this Juve was shot out of a cannon, all right? Incredible energy, incredible aggression, great intent out of the get-go. If you're talking about after that whatnot, it was still positive, was still good. Did the Roma get their moments? Yes, of course, which is going to happen, but I really, really like that, especially walking into the Olimpico at a Roma that's undefeated in 14 matches, 7 wins on the trot. I loved that. So I can't stress that enough. Great start. All right. And it was like, we even asked that question on the pregame. Were we going to try to weather a storm, so to speak, or were we going to go out guns blazing and try to step on them right off the start? So I liked that out of the get-go. But 2 minutes in, we got a hopper sent in from Weah. Gets a touch just outside the area on the left, takes one touch in and drives it. Usually the guy's got a rocket of a shot, but on this one he sent just kind of this skipping worm burner. Svilar parried it away. McKennie looked a little bit unsure as far as how aggressive he was going to be chasing a rebound. They come away unscathed. 24th minute, Roma actually finds some space, works it in well again, starting off a transition at about half there. And, man, they find that blockhead, Cristante, that mutt. And, my God, Kalulu with a massive block. Huge. And that just set the tone for the game that Kalulu was going to put forth. Absolute monster in this game, but huge block there. I think that blockhead was going to score there. I think that thing was going in. I'm not sure if Di Gregorio was getting down quick enough and over. Huge block from Kalulu. That's kind of the opening 15, 24 minutes there. And then you get to the 27th minute. This was a great move up the left flank. Weah stops outside the area, tosses a cross in there, and Nico with a great header. And this was a crazy save at the other end there. Okay, fingertips to crossbar and out, and then Vlahovic tries to flip one back as Hummels is coming in there to close down, and he ends up just passing it right back to the keeper. So they come away unscathed there as well. Then we get to 37th minute. This one was a cross into El Shaarawy, and Di Gregorio, a lot of trust in his angles and knowing where his post was, or was he a little bit late? Well, we'll see in the end, post and out. So we're okay. Started to open up quite a bit. This game was actually fairly open first half. But the 40th, we finally strike. This was a good move up the pitch. Vlahovic ends up chesting it down, settling it. He flips it out to McKennie right in stride. and Kalulu, as if this guy is battling Usain Bolt in a 100-meter dash. This guy comes screaming up the pitch beyond McKennie. McKennie feeds it to him. This was a good first cross in, and then it's actually cleared out only to the top of the area. And then Locatelli, right on cue, every couple of years, he strikes and he volleys this thing out of the reach of Villar. This was a good goal, a solid hit, and I was very, very happy for him. Obviously, as you know, he's my guy. We finished the half there. Roma with a little bit of pushback there, but we walk away 1-0 at halftime. Gents, your thoughts on that opening first half? Sev?
So a couple of things. Number one, the Luca goal. I'll start from Luca and work my way back. The Luca goal is what I've been wanting from him since we got him from Sassuolo. Like, that's the quintessential goal that Locatelli is prone to do. Like, that's what he used to do with Sassuolo, right? We wanted that power midfielder to just hit that shot from where he was. That was perfect. That was what I want. You could tell it in his face when he scored it. Like, he's been wanting it for how many years? That number one. The Dusan hit that hit the who hit the shot before Luca before Dusan tried to hit it? I forgot who it was.
Nico.
Oh, I can't recall.
It was Nico? It was Nico, the header. The Nico header.
Oh, yeah, before he tried to flip it, not shoot it.
Before he tried to flip it. You could see the frustration on Dusan's face after it. Like, he was just screaming. He's killing for a goal. He just needs that for his own mental psyche. But other than that, we came out like Omer is wearing guns blazing. Arms out, guns out. Like, that's how we came into this game. And we'll get to the second half, but that's what bothered me, is how much of a letdown it was afterwards. But we came out hard and strong, and that's what I wanted to see.
It was a brilliant.
He had them motivated in that locker room before the game.
Yeah, and Dusan, as far as him mentally and whatnot, his psyche, I mean, that is up to science at this point, because I have no friggin' clue. Omer, your thoughts on that first half, brother?
Well, it was enjoyable. Very enjoyable. You were great, like you said, first 15 minutes, shot out of a cannon, just playing great, just like we want to see them. Aggressive, a lot of intensity, pushing forward, both Kelly and Kalulu on both sides, which eventually, made the goal. I think they were kind of banking on that half. Like, they let out all their energy in that half, and they were the better team, and not a lot can say that against Roma at home. So I was very positive towards the second half, but that's what we got from Juve most seasons. So it was I was interested to see what Juve are going to come out of that dressing room. But all in all, a goal, 5 minutes to halftime. That's great for positivity. Great for the second half. I was super positive.
Yeah. I mean, that was fantastic. A fantastic first half of football from Juve. Could have been, it still could have been potentially level there. There was one thing out of that first half, if I'm going to get nitpicky, and that's just the amount of sting that our sequences had in the final third. There's still just that one thing missing from really making you truly dangerous. Like, crossing quality is one thing that, for me, I don't know. It seems like it doesn't matter who. Kalulu was a one-man show, had the most dangerous cross probably out of the whole first half with that one that gets cleared out there. Weah had one good cross in there, but predominantly the crossing is just subpar across the board from this Juve. I can't seem to figure it out, but I would probably have them at training. Just send crosses in. Any guy that's going to have the potential to send a cross in until their legs feel like they're going to fall off, because it's actually a joke how poor the quality of delivery it is. Usually it doesn't come anywhere close to giving our guys a shot at competing for that ball. So that's really the only thing I can nitpick, is actual sting or bite to the attack. And more on that as we get into the aftermath. We get to the second half, and Roma, Ranieri makes a change. Shomurodov comes in, and Hummels is actually substituted. That obviously changes the shape, as they were in a 3 center back system as well, and they shifted to a 4-4-2 that became like this 4-2-4. And it was like, okay, we're going to remain the same. Let's see what changes. To be honest, not a whole lot changed, but the fact that we just had that one lapse that you used to be able to bank on with this team, whatever, well, it creeps up again, and it's set pieces. This time defensively, Indica, absolutely unmarked, absolute free header from like the spot on this set piece. And Di Gregorio does well to stop the first one, but he's got absolutely no chance with Shomurodov right there on the doorstep. And he did stay onside, and it's 1-1. It's avoidable, you guys, but you got to compete. This set piece marking zonal thing or whatever, I don't know. It pisses me off. I feel like we've said this quite a few shows. Just man up and get the job done.
I don't know who to blame, but someone needs like to take control of those situations, because that's like the first corner of a substitution. A new guy, a tall guy, a striker. Someone has to mark him. Like someone has to be there on the ground, telling everyone what to do. Watch out for this guy. Watch out for this guy. You're taking him. What Buffon used to do, Chiellini, Bonucci, to a certain extent. And this confusion, like they just brought in. This is a pretty tall team as it is.
Yeah.
As they just brought in another striker. Someone has to stay close to him, and if no one is doing it, then someone has to tell someone to do it. That's what annoys me. Yeah, the zonal marking is awful and should be man marking, but most of the time it's just free headers. I mean, Di Gregorio, I can't blame him too much. He did very well to save the first header.
Another thing that's bizarre, I don't know if you guys noticed, but there's nobody on the posts. Like,
well, they're all pretty far back. Look how far back they are from the.
What's weird is if you have a guy on the post, and that does happen, he then attacks Shomurodov where like he's goal side of where Shomurodov would then be. Like, it's like sometimes we do have a guy on the post, other times we don't. It's like I don't understand what exactly is going on here, but that could have potentially made a difference in this one, especially if you're not going to contest a ball that's at the friggin' spot. Okay, but a frustrating one because, again, it's a piss up on our side, and we get a goal that's an equalizer now, and we go back to level, and it's back to the drawing board. The nice thing here is that, well, nice depending how you look at it, is that Roma didn't really push too hard, and neither did we. I mean, you can go to the 71st minute, an exchange between Cope Miners, who came in, and Yildiz taking a few steps, taking a shot short side that's wide. Outside of that, there's not a whole bunch. Not a whole bunch in this game, not in the second half. It felt like both teams, neither team was going to put the risk necessary to get after and win it. We ended a 1-1 draw, and this is what, this game felt very strange. I had a very weird feeling at the end of this game because it's like you see some of the good. You definitely see some of the good, but you see some of the same habits kind of coming back. And you also, I was a bit annoyed too, because it's like, go after that 3 points, because I felt like everything was just way down from the first half. And I felt like if we played even a half, even like half as good as the first half, with half as much as intensity, that game was for the taking. Like, I think we were better when we were on it, but the midfield battle started to fade for Juve. And we never really regrouped in the second half to like really take control again. I don't know. I was felt with mixed feelings at the end of this one. So take us through your thoughts at the end of it. We'll start with Omer here.
Yeah, so the positives one will be that 2 weeks ago, that game was a loss for me. Like when Mota was still here, Roma away, that was just a loss. So getting a point here and actually feeling like we sort of deserved the win, like we could have gotten it. I don't know if we deserved it, but we could have gotten the win. It was up for the taking, and Juve didn't. I mean, Tudor didn't react to Roma's changes, which kind of created both teams just banging their head against the wall, trying to score some scraps, and it looked like both of them were fine with a draw. So if I had to guess, like out of the games we have left, which one we can drop points or we will drop points, it would have probably been Roma or Lazio at the Olimpico. So I don't feel too bad. I was expecting a point, lost points there. But now, yeah, we have our backs against the wall. We have to win the next 3 games. Kind of got pushed into a corner. And so yeah, let's see what can be done here. A point at Rome in our current situation is not the end of the world for me.
Yeah. And Sev, let's take me through your thoughts at the end of the game, and then we're going to get into like kind of player rankings, performances, and Tudor's performance.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you, Berto, on I felt the same way after the game. Like I felt like almost like incomplete, but is this the same old Juve where we only, last week we played a full 90 minutes. And I just felt like number one, I think their goal kind of took the wind out of us a little bit. Um and going back to that goal, like we just like to say what you said, we really need to work on set pieces, whether it's defending them or whether when we're taking them, because uh, it just looks like nobody knows where they should be on set pieces. Like, and I think that's a little bit because Gatti wasn't there too. Because I think Gatti we always complain Gatti's right in front of Di Gregorio all the time, and there was nobody in front of Di Gregorio on that kick. The closest one was Thuram and Kalulu, but they were still a few yards back. But as an overall, I just think that we didn't play a full 90 minutes. Like the midfield, we lost the midfield in the second half completely, and you wouldn't think that with Thuram and Luca playing there, but we just lost that thing. But as to Omer saying he expected less there, I think that this was an easy 3 points for us. I really do. I think we
So
could
you
have gotten
see
the
a
3
lot
points.
of the comments in there stating that
Yeah.
let's not forget, this is a Roma team in form, 14 undefeated, 7 wins on the trot. But I said it all along, there's no team that convinces me. And I feel
No,
like
we were
every
better than them.
game, every 2 teams that line up, no matter the form that either one of those teams in, is up for grabs in this Serie A. I don't feel like anybody is super convincing. And that goes to the top. That goes to the leaders that had a 2-0 against Parma this weekend that ended up drawing 2-2. There is no team that is convincing this entire season to me. There isn't. Not Napoli, not Inter, not Atalanta, not Lazio, not Bologna, not Fiorentina, not even us. There is no team. And it sure as hell isn't Roma. I'm a little frustrated with the second half. But the frustrations are kind of just watered down because Tudor walked into some serious shit. And we can't forget that. He walked into we said it. We got to give this guy credit because who else is going to walk in with zero guarantees in the situation that we're in? Nobody. So you have to take that into account as well. But as far as this game goes, yeah, a huge mixed bag. Fantastic opening half. Yeah, you gave up a big chance. They could have probably bagged one too. But we could have had a couple as well. Second half, both seem safe, happy with that point. Okay, we can move on. But you give yourself a little, even less room for error now. And we'll talk about that moving forward. As far as the game, we're going to get into performances and we're going to get into Tudor's performance too, because the substitutions, well, that seemed a little bit strange too. And again, you've got this theory going on, and we'll talk about that theory when we get to Tudor. But Chico Conceição probably should have maybe came in that game if you're looking to take the lead.
Yep.
Colt Miners played again in that same position. We moved McKennie, who I thought looked pretty gassed, again, into the middle. And then you got Weah coming off, Savona entering the pitch. So it said it felt very safe. Some fans said that the substitutions felt safe. Before we get to the player performances, what did you think of those substitutions? For me, I would have probably made one of the subs at one of the wingbacks, but I would have had Cope Miners come in. If you're going to take Locatelli off in that game, play Cope Miners there and use Chico Conceição in the advanced position for Nico Gonzalez. That's the thing I was thinking, is you still haven't had much bite in the final third, but you have a player that can bring you some bite, and you didn't look to use it. So to me, it was very safe, and it was happy for the draw. Guys, what did you think on the subs? We'll start this one with Sev and then get to Omer.
Yeah, I didn't mind. Well, I don't want to see Coop. I've been saying this for weeks now. I want Coop, I think, for a mental thing. I think he needs to just not come in. Like, no play at all. 100% don't. Just let him sit there for a little bit. But if you're going to bring him in, I wouldn't have brought him in as a wingback. I would have played him in that middle role.
Well, it wasn't wingback. He was the advanced midfielder.
Well, the advanced. I'm sorry. You're right. Forwards. But I wanted him in that two-man pivot. That's where I would have put him with Tudor if you're going to take Luca out. I agree with you there. Other than that, the Savona thing, I think you said it best, Berto. I felt like the moves were conservative.
Yeah.
They were very conservative. They were like, and that's where everybody's saying, and I agree with everybody. I think that, I don't want to say that Tudor played for a tie necessarily, but I just think that they were complacent moves, which, like, okay, we're good where we are. Let's just maintain it. And that's where I felt like I thought Tudor would be more of an aggressive type coach than be like, okay, let's bring in Conceição on that right side, or let's keep Duchan in, and put Kolomuani maybe on that upper right side or whatever. More aggressive. And he didn't do that. So I think that's where I had my only issue with it.
Omer, your thoughts? Subs?
Yeah, McKennie looked gassed. I mean, I don't know why he was the one substituted. I think Wea seemed a lot better, and Cambiasso was the guy. So it was simple for me. That kind of caught me off guard, especially to the midfield role.
Yeah.
I honestly thought Ildiz wasn't having a good game. I would have subbed him out for Conceição. Like, after the first 10, 15 minutes, I thought he wasn't too much involved. He couldn't find the spaces. Some might disagree. That's how I saw it.
You know what? Well, let's get into these ratings. We're not going to kick things off with Yildiz there, but we're going to start. So Diga Goriwitz is 6.9. I mean, no argument there. I mean, it's fine there with the keep. Not a whole lot in this game. I think neither team hit 10 attempts in this game. I think they both ended, or maybe they both got 11. They might have both got 11, but it was pretty soft at both sides. Both keepers with like one good save or two good saves. Kalulu, 7.7. So the official man of the match in this game was Shomarudov. Okay? So that was a joke. But you've got Kalulu at 7.7. On this rating system, not even the highest. Second to Locatelli, but Vega at 7.2, Lloyd Kelly at 7.2. We're going to start with the backline as a group. For me, Kalulu is easily and by a long shot the best man in this match for both sides. He was man of the match, no doubt, for me. In terms of Vega, he is very, very strong, and I like him in the heart of that backline. If you can get me Gatti, Vega, and Kalulu, I think it'd be very, very. I'd be very, very happy with that because Kalulu can slot over to the left. But saying that, Lloyd Kelly, that's two really good performances for him at left center back on the trot. Genoa and even here against Roma, and he even cleaned up the errors in possession for this game. So, yeah, I mean the back line. I had no problem with any of these guys, and Kalulu was by a long shot my man of the match. Probably should have got like over an 8 rating in my opinion. Omer, your thoughts on the back line?
Yeah, it's pretty clear how they rate their players. Whoever scores gets the highest rating. So I honestly thought all of them were good. Like maybe even our best area of the pitch. Kalulu, hands down, man of the match. It's not even a question. He had like 2 or 3
Yeah.
goal-saving sliding tackles or interventions or whatever, and he sort of assisted the goal. Easily man of the match. Vega, he still has some mistakes, but because his demeanor and the way he acts on the field, I have to remind myself that he's 21,
Yeah.
which sometimes easy to forget because of the way he plays. So he has a bright future ahead of him, whether he stays at Juve or not. I really like his attitude. Kelly was great. Kelly had a very decent game. I thought he cleaned up his side of the pitch very well. Didn't let anything by him. Even had some good bursts forward and 2 crosses, one awful, one was actually great. I thought he had a decent game.
Yeah. Absolutely. And Sev, anything to add on the guys at the back line?
No, a very simple thing. I think Kalulu proved yesterday that he's really a full back, right? Like, so in a 4-man back line, you saw it yesterday what a full back really is, and we've never really played him as a full back. Because
we
of
never
our injury.
really
So
had the chance, even because of injury, which sucks, right?
Yeah. But exactly what Omer said. Vega is I can't believe that he's only 21. Like, he's got that thing to him. It's just that what happens to this guy when he gets even more experience, then he's going to be a real true center back, like brick wall type of center back. But Kelly too, same thing.
In the first half, Vega was critical in us being able to pin Roma down with some crazy interventions and just this fearless pressure and aggression that he's able to put on. He had a good battle on his hands with Dolbek too, who is no slouch, very, very strong hold up forward up there, and Vega did more than hold his own. So it was a good battle to watch, actually, those two. We get to the midfield. McKennie, 6.9, Locatelli, 7.9, Thuram, 7.7, Weah, 7.4. Immediately to me, I don't have Weah at a 7.4. McKennie's, I don't know if just the amount of minutes this season in general or what it is, but he seems to have lost that impact. He has seemed to lost that impact on the game. I thought on the right side he would be better and get more impact, because I do believe he's better on the right outside. That's where he had that big season with a ton of assists, etc. But it's, something's off right now with Mac. I would have Weah slightly higher than McKennie. Thuram and Locatelli. Locatelli, for me, gets the highest rating out of the midfield yesterday. Thuram, it feels like these past 2 games he's lost influence higher up the pitch. And I need to see that from him, because he's stronger. But that's all I can really take out of the midfield. Sev, what do you want to touch on the midfield before we get to Omer?
The only thing is, I actually wanted to ask you guys a question with Locatelli. Did anybody notice how many times, because of Kalulu shooting up so much, how many times Loca had to play almost like a CB a lot?
I think it was by design. I think he was dropping back, and that allowed Kalulu to press forward and bomb up, and Locatelli would drop back and be that right center back. And it was like you had Kelly, Vega, and Loca, and that allowed Kalulu to get advanced. It felt like it was by design because of how much it happened.
Yeah,
I actually thought it was like they kind of shifted to 4 at the back, because Kalulu was spreading out wide, and then Locatelli was dropping into sort of his role.
Yeah.
And Kelly was hugging the left side and sort of playing like a back. Then you have 3 guys on the wing. I believe that's some of his system, the way he wants to.
Yeah.
Yep.
But Omer, anything to add in the midfield?
No. I'm looking at the Fotmob's rating here. They look a bit more realistic, let's say, because it looks here like we had a great game, like great 90 minutes. If
I don't think so, because you start at 6, and I mean,
Really?
even 7's a good game, but it's not a strong game. I mean, if you're looking at the guys that were higher up in the ratings, they should be Thuram, Loca, and Kalulu. I would say that those are the highest.
This seems like the first half ratings.
Because I've seen.
That's a good point. Yeah,
maybe, but I don't know. Like, Nico Gonzalez is an interesting one when we get to the forwards, and it's all like perception and whatnot. But I think honestly, all the rating systems, we just use this for discussion. I think they all suck. I'll be quite honest. They're all garbage. Just calling it for what it is, because they just put points to certain things that they believe matter more. It is what it is. It's just a discussion point. We're going to get to Locatelli. So this was his first goal in couple of years. But his game, he was probably next up on deck, I think, for man of the match. I agree with Sev earlier, saying that Loco was right there next to Kalulu. 76 minutes played, 90 touches, 90% on precise passes, 5 out of 6 on ground duels, won an aerial challenge, scored a goal. First goal since 2023. Do you remember his last goal?
Oh, God. 2023. What was it? The Roma 4-3 match? He scored a header there. And
why do I feel like it was a goal similar to yesterday's?
It was similar, yeah. It was similar.
Oh, against Milan. Yeah.
October 22nd, 2023 versus Milan. The shot that was deflected and fooled Mignon on the deflection.
In the
Do
San
you know
Siro,
that it was another 2 years prior to that for his goal? And do you remember that one?
Was it with Juve?
Yeah. 2021 with Juve. And that was
Torino?
2 goals ago.
I remember one against Roma, the 4-3 with De Chilio's winner. I remember one against Torino. I think his first one was against Torino.
That was few and far the one in 2021 was the derby. Derby della Molla with Torino. So the guys remember that one. And, of course, great celebration there in the stands. That's it for Luca, but it felt good to get this guy on the board. I'm very happy with his season. I think
Me too.
I think he's been solid. He's been one of the constants. Him and Thuram have been a constant all year long. That's a big positive, I think, for us moving forward, even if we are working on midfield and maybe making some changes. We got to get to the attack. Gonzalez at a 7, Yildiz at a 7.1, Vlahovic at a 6.5. We're going to work off of that. So, guys, what do you think about the attackers? Let's start with Omer here.
I think overall in the game, Nico was actually the more involved one out of the 3. I mean, I like Yildiz a lot. I thought he didn't have a really good game. Dusan was just awful. I think it was just not because if I like him or not like him or his form or whatever. I think it was just the wrong choice. All those towers at the back playing crosses to him. He doesn't get on the end of most of them. Anyways, positioning in the box is awful for crossing. I would have played on speed, especially with Hummels in the center. I would have gone for Colo. So I thought it was a wrong choice, and he didn't disappoint. This is fine. Nico feels a bit unlucky, to be honest.
Okay, I'm gonna give my thoughts. I'm gonna give my thoughts on the attack here. I think Yildiz and Nico. Nico was the better out of all of our attackers. He was the best of the bunch, but Nico can't figure out if he's got a sledgehammer or a feather for a foot, and it's fucking pissing me off. Okay, I'll be quite honest. It's annoying as fuck because you get great scenarios and they die constantly at his foot, and it's one of the things I've ripped him to shreds for this entire season. It feels like this guy, he does so much good for absolutely nothing in the end. And it's annoying. It's super annoying. But he was the best out of the bunch. Yildiz and Nico, actually, they can't seem to... They both want to occupy the same space, which was annoying to watch at sometimes too, because even in the strong first half, it was like Nico was pushing Yildiz further out, and he was like dominating and trying to take over the middle, and then Yildiz was kind of like, okay, where do I go now? How do I get involved too? So this is one of the things when you're going to operate guys and you want kind of 2 guys to dictate up in that attack, they need to both be on the same page. There were times I didn't feel that. But Nico definitely was the best out of the bunch. For Vlahovic, for me, mixed bag. Because Kolo Muani came in, and I would have called Kolo Muani for the start. But to be honest, that guy avoided contact like the plague. And he wanted to just get the touch in, and he looked like he was on his tippy toes. Don't touch me, don't touch me. And I don't think Tudor is going to like that. Tudor is a very, hard-nosed type of attitude, whatever. He wants someone more physical. Kolo is not that guy. So if you want to get Kolo in, he's going to probably have to occupy a second striker role where someone is more physical and whatever. But the problem with Dusan is the mixed bag for me was in the first half. And in the second half, his attitude went down the gutter, and then he was pretty much useless in the second half. So you have a ton of stuff that Tudor's trying to navigate and deal with. But for the that's all I can really say. Nico was the best out of the bunch, but we still don't have chemistry. We don't have a shared idea. Yeah, it's scattered. It's scattered in the attack. Like, they don't have some by design. Watch Roma, for example. Ranieri, who came in and took over. And I'm just using them for an example because we literally just watched them. Dovbyk, there's your target guy, 100%, hold up, and everybody runs off of him the second the ball goes to him. You see in the area, boom, there's our guy. You got a clean line of sight. Okay, midfielder shows up short, winger drops in on the one side, and you got another player coming in to his right. He's got 3 options where he can go with that ball almost every time he's on it. And that goes even for long balls. Boom, the midfielder's rushing up, the 2 forwards are closing in, and it's like, okay, that's a shared understanding. Where's our share? And I get it because Tudor had just come in. But this has been a problem like all season long. So I'm just saying he still has a long way to go. So when we ask, is there progress in this Juve? Yes, there is progress because structurally, organizationally, we are much, much better. The focus is much, much better through a whole 90. But there are some things that feel same old. And the attack is one of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think, again, it's to agree with like the rest of the chat here mostly. I think Dusan is the issue. Whether it's just not being able to hold on to a ball for more than 1 second, and you kind of kill all the options for other guys to join. Now, no matter who played with him, there always seems to be like an understanding issue. He doesn't form chemistry with the guys around him. I don't know if it's to the degree of a manager or it's just him that he doesn't understand how to play with others. And I don't know, it doesn't work. It looks really bad. He's more focused on complaining after every loss than getting the ball back. And I mean, I do appreciate taking care of a player's mental issues and stuff, but at the end of the day, it's not a daycare. How long has Dusan been in this scenario of just, I don't know, bad vibes, call it whatever you want, but it's every game for a long time now. There should be some line that you say this is exaggerated.
You can drop Vlahovic for the rest of the season. I'd have no problem with it. I still think you'll see some shortcomings here because these guys don't have the fucking balls to say, like, if I've got a line of sight on goal, who's the guy that's fucking ripping it? Who's the guy there's too much cute nonsense. I don't know if they have complete freedom in the final third. They probably do, but like, it just isn't clicking. It just isn't jiving. And I mean, Kolo Muani came in red hot, and I'm like, you'll see the same shortcomings. In the final third, I don't know what it is. These guys just can't gel. And it's a combination of the guys.
Now, we talk about attackers and stuff that we want to bring in. Honestly, I have no idea what fits Juve's system. I don't even know who the coach is.
Actually, we're gonna get into that a bit. I want Seb to touch on this forward thing, this attack, because he was about to come in.
Go ahead.
I'm just gonna push back a little bit on Omer's thing with the Dusan, only because when Kolo did come in, it wasn't like, and I said this in the AJC chat yesterday. I said, because everybody was killing him in the chat, and I said, guys, I want Kolo to come in, and you guys will see that nothing will change. Nothing's going to change because we don't have that strategy in that final third to fix this. I just don't. I think you guys could have, and I wrote in the chat, you could have had Messi up there. You could have had Ronaldo up there.
Well, let's take it easy. Let's take it easy on that. Well, Messi's the GOAT, by the way, everybody. I'm gonna say this. I would have liked to see Colo in the start when the energy and the attitude was there, because what was actually happening in the first half, Dusan drifted a lot. He wasn't staying central.
He did. He drifted to that right side a lot.
He was drifting a lot. If that was Kolo Muani, this is exactly why I said in the pregame I would have started him, because I wanted to see a forward setup where everybody had freedom to interchange with everybody. So if you had Colo playing there in the first half and he was the one drifting out, whatever, with better technical quality, it could have probably had a better outcome for the group as a whole. Now, when Kolo Muani stepped in, we didn't see a whole hell of a lot. He looked not ready to fight or combat or be physical whatsoever. And he struggled before that in physical confrontations with defenders. He's
not that type of striker.
Yeah, he isn't that type of striker. So Kolo Muani as a one up top, I'm real suspect on. It's just finding that thing that gels, and I'm still willing to try Colo and Vlahovic with Yildiz just behind, and almost like a two-man going up. Like just try it, and we could talk about that in the games leading up. But I think in the attack, that's where we still suffer the most, I'd say, in terms of Tudor and this game, because I've seen it in the chat earlier on saying Tudor is not the one. I don't think we can make that call. And going to Omer's point, which he was just talking about when we were talking about the attackers and Mercado, for instance, I don't know who the hell we should be going after. Like, who's the coach? I feel like this year, even if we're looking at the guys we currently have, I said this yesterday to Lex and Paolo, there's a couple guys I feel confident in approaching for players. But for the large number of guys we have, I almost feel like it's so hard to gauge because of how this season is gone. And it's like, how much of it was Mota's nonsense? How much of it is the players, And now we get into it with some of these guys, okay? And one that was at the forefront was, of course, Chico Conceição, that many of us said we would at least bring it in. And before I get to this, we talked about the mixed emotions, mixed feelings out of this game. I said I didn't agree with those substitutes, not all the substitutes by Tudor. I would have definitely brought in Chico Conceição, but I still don't feel it would have changed the outcome because of how the second half was playing out, and that it seemed that the aggression and the intent from both sides was to get that 1 point, right? But I would have made that change. You fast forward to today, you got this thing with Chico. One day they will know. Well, who's they? Like Juve? Like the world? The Muppets? Like who the hell is they? One day they will know. Chico even was interesting because we brought him up on the show yesterday as obviously Kalulu is the one that's guaranteed getting locked up. When it gets to Vega, it seems like we're not going to deal. When it comes to Chico, now all of a sudden you get mixed reports. Mirko Di Natale stands firm that the agreement is there between his agent and Juve that we are taking the 30 million release clause. And even if he's not in favor, we could sell him, whatever. Like, there's a lot of reports going on. Then you have Kolo Muani. Today, the news, to remind everybody, is that Kolo Muani, PSG, has been informed by Juve, we are not retaining him. Chico Conceição, I said yesterday, I already know that I would spend 30 mil and keep Chico Conceição.
Let's ask it a different way. Who do you think deserves, like based on his performances this season, who has earned, Juve going into negotiations?
I would negotiate for Vega in a heartbeat.
Agree. For me, it's Kalulu and Vega. Those are the one who actually proved there's
Kalulu
something.
is less money than Conceição. That's an absolute must to bring in. Vega, I would negotiate, and Chico at 30 million, I say yes.
But Berto, didn't you say earlier in the week that if they do retain Conceição, that might be just to resell him?
That's what Mirko Di Natale is claiming. Mirko Di Natale is claiming that Jorge Mendes and Juve have an agreement that Juve is picking him up no matter what on that 30 million release clause from Porto. And Mirko claims that even if he's not in favor, there's a coaching change that doesn't work for Conceição. It doesn't rule out Juve selling him before. But I wouldn't be surprised if Juve goes back on it and doesn't pick him up. Is Kelly an obligation? Kelly is an obligation. All we have to do is reach any of the European positions, and that is an obligation at a very small fee. I mean, but everybody really blew up about this thing. At the end of the day, if Kelly is whatever, fourth option, third option, fourth option, he's not going to hurt us on the numbers at all. Maybe it's we'll scratch your back. Keep an eye out for us when we come in for Tonali with Newcastle.
Well, I'll play devil's advocate here. We already locked up Nico, right?
Yeah, that was obligation and it's done.
I would have rathered Conceição. Sorry.
I'm honestly...
It's again going back to the question of the coach. Like, if it's Conte, eventually, I don't know where he's going to use Chico in his system.
Yeah, but
If
that
he's
could have been
coming
said
with
for
it,
the
if I
guys
feel-
that he has now. I mean, Napoli picked up Neres. Napoli had Politano. They had all these wingers. And Politano's playing. And Conte's utilizing
he
three
found
up
it.
front.
Yeah, he found a way to do it. I don't know what he's planning, and if it's not him, like, before we know who the coach is, I wouldn't rush to sign anyone that's outside Kalulu and
That's a
Vega.
good point.
By the way, I might just go back in time a little bit with a little bit of Salt Bay here. But speaking of Conte, for anybody that likes the underground shit here, Conte, the word on the street is, okay? Word on the street is, it's done. And Conte is coming back. I'm just telling you. Okay, I'm just telling you what's going on there. Because remember this. Those ultras that made a big fuss about like Agnelli and all this, whatever, they're not reacting to mainstream media, okay? They're not reacting to mainstream media in Italy and like, you know, everything that's being said, all this. Conte, I told you guys last year, I was very surprised we didn't go that route because Conte has wanted the return. He's back in Turin anyways. His wife owns a boutique there. And when I told you that she was even telling people in Turin that he wants to be back on the bench there. And then all of a sudden, 2 months later, after all these hangout sessions, the 96 team, and then Delivio, Tacchinardi, Torricelli, they're all like, oh yeah, he would jump at the chance. I'm just telling you, don't be surprised. Don't be surprised.
Well, wasn't he waiting before we got Motta? Like, wasn't he outside the stadium just waiting for a call before we signed Motta? Like,
dude, Conte wanted to come back when he went to Inter. And him and Agnelli had this big, had that big beef or whatever. Apparently that's settled too, is word on the street. But again, don't shoot the messenger. I'm just laying it out, okay? Just laying it out. If it happens, I'm down. I'm down with it if it happens. I know many aren't.
I kind of wish Tudor finds a way to stay with him, like be part of the staff or something.
Oh, that would be sick.
That would be cool. Tudor won't do that. I don't think.
No, he won't do that.
And you know what? It's
a coach like Conte has.
Well, he already did the assistant thing, right? Under Pirlo.
Yeah, he did it with Pirlo.
Yeah.
And maybe that should have been the moment that we gave Tudor the shot. Who knows? But, again, it's not judging Tudor right now. It's still only 2 games. But I don't think this is the plan for Juve. I think this is legitimately a caretaker situation. And we can feel sentimental about it because it's Tudor. I've always loved Igor Tudor. But, I mean, I do believe that they want Conte back. I think it was in the running all last year between Conte and Motta. I think, and this is what gets me about the upper management, trying to wash their hands of everything and act like now they're getting involved, because you can't tell me that a major factor in that decision wasn't the Chicoria and the money. It 100% was to go the Motta route.
Can you imagine Chiellini being his boss after being his player for a long time?
That's true.
For 3 seasons, and then he's going to be his boss. Seems weird.
How far do I go into what's going on, like with the word on the street? Like, do I dig deeper?
Just do it. Just do it. Stop teasing.
Preach. Tell us what the
Stop teasing us, bro. Let's go.
Alessandro Del Piero finally received a call from Juve, and they are looking at it, and they
want their shirts back.
Gigi Buffon received a phone call from Juventus.
Whoa.
Oh.
Platini received a phone call from Agnelli. Agnelli wants Platini.
So what are we doing? An old timers game? Like, what are we doing here?
Del Piero and Buffon.
Forming a team, not a.
Del Piero and Buffon have received phone calls. Elkan looking to put it together with those guys. Let's see.
Buffon is part of the national team, right? He's going
for now.
Yeah.
Did Bonucci get a call?
Bonucci.
They were
50-50, man. 50-50. Who knows?
They don't think they can keep his shirts.
Did we ever get sidetracked off of Chico Conceição? I say keep him. I say keep him, all right? I say keep him. For Kolomuani, I'm okay if we don't go that route. McKennie is heading for renewal. That one, for a long time, it seemed like that was going to be the play. And I have no problems with it. I have absolutely no problems with it. I think even as a rotational guy, he gets a lot of flack and whatnot, but his versatility speaks for itself. I think right now he's in a bit of a rut. I think it's catching up to him. I think he might need a breather, boys. I actually do.
Yeah, definitely does. He definitely does.
You could see it against Genoa, no impact whatsoever. And even yesterday, he just looks a little bit behind. And you know what? I hate saying this about professional athletes, etc., whatever. We used to make jokes about Higuain or whatnot, but McKennie could stand to, trim up a bit, okay?
He's got to lay off that ranch dressing.
Yeah, just have the pizza the way it comes, bro. You don't need the ranch on top of it, okay? Just take it easy. But I don't know. He's a big dude, man, and that's gonna take a toll. He's just got a lot.
I always thought he had kind of the physique of more of an NFL player than.
Yeah, but it does suffice him.
A running back there. When you talk about this is another thing I want to bring up, because Tudor has been running double training sessions, steady. And when have you seen a coach come in around April to a team and say he doesn't like the fit? It's very rare that they're like, man, these guys aren't even in physical condition to play for me.
I think a lot of that alludes to his style of play, and this is basically what we saw in the first 20 minutes of the match. Very high intensity, pushing forward, 3-man pressing every ball carrier. But the trick is to manage it. You can't go like that for 90 minutes.
Exactly. Because I was going to say, I don't give a shit how good a shape you're in. You can't keep that at that level for even 75. It just ain't going to happen. So he's got to find that balance.
That was one of Allegri's main forces in Allegri first version. He knew how to manage the minutes, when to press, when to lay back and let the other team attack. And it's super important. I mean, we're not Man City or Bayern. We don't have their juice or physique or the way they train. We can't run for 90 minutes. We just can't, especially after what we've seen. If apparently those guys are not in shape to do anything.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I think that was Motta's downfall, not to bring him up, but I think that's what he realized. Well, he didn't realize, and that's what got him the boot, but he pushed them. A lot of guys were getting hurt. A lot of guys by the 60th minute were over. And what did we do all season? We complained that they didn't play a full game, and that's why, because they just didn't have that energy. They couldn't do it.
Yeah,
they couldn't do it.
It's gonna be interesting to see, and there's a lot more to take out of these games. I see some of the Storm the Barns we're gonna get to that will kind of talk. This is one of them from Tuna. Where the hell did Mbangula go? There were reports that Tudor had him playing wing back in the first few sessions and liked what he saw. Listen, when it comes down to it, I think it's the crunch. We're feeling the crunch. Like, he's going with the guys that in just 1 week of training sessions that he has faith in, that he feels he can trust, that he can believe in. That's what it is. Mbangula is an experiment as a wingback. Even if you try him in training sessions and you like him there, guess what? When it counts, you're going to go with who you have the most faith in. Who are you going to have more faith in? Like the guys that have been playing wingback, guys like McKennie, guys that have more experience are probably going to get more leash. We have little room for error. And that draw yesterday, some believe that it could be make or break because it was a very winnable game. I actually don't. I think the next three could very much dictate how things play out, and we pretty much have to rack it up against Lecce, Parma, and Monza. There's like next to no room for error in those three games.
I think the wingback thing, they have to be able to track back, and maybe Tudor doesn't like the way Mbangula tracks back. You know, I don't know. A wingback is a glorified fullback, right? So like, you have to be able to track back, and maybe he doesn't like the way Mbangula does it. You know, in a 4-3-3, Mbangula doesn't have to track back as much because he's a winger.
On the counter, the counter to that is that even under Malta in a 4-2-3-1, those outsides did a ton of tracking back. Nico Gonzalez played as a wingback too in this role for Tudor. So it's like, I don't know. But at the same time, if you're looking for sting out of there too, Mbangula, McKennie has kind of cemented himself as this guy that's got to play. But right now, he's not having an impact. We also have Alberto Costa that we brought in that he is a legit outside player that you could use. Savona ends up getting the call yesterday over him. And again, that felt very pragmatic because better defensively, Savona.
And Costa's fast. He's fast.
Very fast. Very fast.
I don't know. It's a tricky issue. Gotta remember, it's only 2 games in. The first one was after he went with what he felt safe. This one, the way it went down, maybe he would have subbed him in if we were leading like 2-0 at the 70th minute. And even if he was going to change someone, it's still 99% of the people would want from Sasao on before Mbangula.
Yeah, and I did too.
Yeah, we gotta give it some more time. 2 games.
Like Aaron here, at what point do we worry about Costa? How many busts can we buy in one window? Busts that can't even get. Well, you can't call him a bust because he's not giving in. But the story is that I think these were safety nets. These were no doubt safety nets. Lloyd Kelly was a safety net. Vega was a safety net loan. Costa was a safety net purchase too. This is what it is. These are safety nets for depth in January, and that's kind of where we're at. At the end of the day, Costa looks like he's going to head out on loan already. Adzic looks like he's heading out on a loan next season. Adzic is a player I'd try in one of those roles before Colt Miners. I would try Adzic in one of those forward roles behind a striker. Agreed. This kid's lighting it up every time he shows up at Next Gen, but can't get a shot at a position that makes sense for him. And it's a position that we've had a problem with all damn season. I don't give a shit about his age. He's there for a reason. You praised him all summer in camp, and you're having an issue all year at a position that he plays. Try it.
Yeah, especially Berto, especially in this new formation with a 3-4-3. I'd rather him.
if it's Cope, like, we're going to run out of match balls because they're all going to be on the moon. We keep playing this guy up there and he gets those rips, okay? Then we hurt our finances because those match balls are expensive as hell. All right, so Jesus.
But Juve made it to the moon.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah,
and that's to get all the balls back.
We'll save money next year with no.
They don't even need the jetpacks because they just drink Prime.
Yeah,
that blasts them out. Okay. Let's rein it back in here, everybody. All right, good laughs though. Is it wrong to say that Poop has been a downgrade on Rabiot? We all know how limited Rabiot is as a player, but at least he was prolific from set pieces and snuffing out danger defensively. I gotta say this. If we're talking about, I don't think Cope Miners would be brought in to replace Rabiot. I always felt like Thuram would be the Rabiot.
Exactly.
You know,
Yep.
I felt like Cope Miners was the signing of a mid we didn't really possess, or that I felt like he was more the replacement to what we wanted out of Fagioli or Moretti. More,
an offensive midfielder.
More attacking prowess,
Yeah.
like whatever, right? So at the end of the day, no matter who the hell you're trying to upgrade with, it's just been a very, very disappointing situation. I think for whatever reason, I'm still just in complete shock of how bad it's been. You got to wash this thing away, and I think the way it's played out this season, it didn't help him, but Cope's a tough one. I'm just going to throw this out to you guys. If you had a chance to reset, say whatever, you could break even in the summer, would you do it on Cope Miners?
100%.
You'd say goodbye and
I didn't even hesitate. I didn't even hesitate.
Yeah,
I would.
Omer.
I would.
I don't know.
I know. I'm kind of like.
I mean, if you bring in Conte, a guy who just gets 150% out of everyone, I mean, you wouldn't convince me he was bad for Atalanta and it was just, your eyes were deceiving you how he played there. He played great for Atalanta. Awesome. It's been a horror show for Juve. I don't know if it's a coach thing or whatever, but it feels like, I don't know, something feels off about it, about selling him immediately. To me, it's very hard.
I think it's the shirt. I don't think it matters the coach who it is. I think it's just that he's choking with a big shirt on.
Yeah, it may be the case. I don't know, but it's a tough one.
I feel like I need to see. I still feel like it was a real major mismanagement how Cope was handled and force-fed when things weren't in. I think he needed to be reined in and be like, dude, just relax, just play your game, don't worry. And at the same time, I still have doubts, and it would be hard to pass up just a break even. I feel like one more season. And you know what? It would be easier to break even after one more season because I don't think that it would be as bad as this one.
I agree with Fede Chiesa here in the chat. Whatever coach comes in, if he doesn't need him, sell him. Don't try to make him use him.
Yeah.
If the coach wants him to stay, keep him. Just go with what the coach says.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair, as he says. If Conte, whoever says in plans, always go with the coach's words. Yeah. As far as the poll question goes out there, 59% say yes. If they could sell and break even, they would. Well,
I just don't think we could break even with him. That's my only issue.
Well, I mean, after this year, it'd be difficult to break even. After another one, you probably could, but you never know. You never know. And I don't know. Yes or no? Will we ever get to see? And here we are, Cope Miners. The Cope Miners we thought we were buying. I still will lean. It's tight. It's close, but I'm still leaning towards yes. We will see a stronger version of Cope Miners. I'm going to have faith. Don't ask me why, but yes, I will say yes. Yes. Sev, do you believe we'll see it?
I don't. He lost me.
I told you it's cold. It's cold over there. Where
It's cold in New York, man. I'm in a bad
That's
mood.
the best position to win you over. Right after he failed you, I hated Bonucci after his first season. He was awful.
Oh, that's true. That's a good point. I forgot about that.
You know
There
what?
are
It's
some players
so
that pick
it's
it
so
up the
bad
second
that
game.
next season, even if he just like starts off a goal like in the first 5 games, or you'll be like, "Damn it, Cope's back! Cope's back!"
Yeah.
Well, he did have.
course.
What was the game that he had? Like he was amazing in it.
Dude, he scored
Like-
a free kick this year that was just top
Oh,
class.
yeah.
Like it was disgusting. Like
Yeah.
the guy just didn't forget how to play football. Like it's crazy to me. We got to bring it in, but I don't know. We're all over the map on Cope Miners. I don't know if you guys agree, but I hate the term Swiss Army knife players. I don't care if McKennie can play in multiple positions. I want players who are great in their proper positions. Well, my rebuttal is this. You need
Utility
those multiple
players, yeah.
role players in any team. And every team that usually typically succeeds has that coverage. It's amazing for depth. You can't have specialists at all positions, even on your bench. You have to have guys that can do multiples. So it actually is a big boost. And if you go down, you can go way down in the depths of the charts for Juventus, and you'll always see those guys in those rosters. Just it's the way it is. You have to have them.
Yeah, Real Madrid has Valverde, Barca has Gavi, and Bayern has Kimmich. Tons of teams have those guys that you can just throw in different positions. You need them. You can't have 11 top class players on the pitch and on the bench.
Yeah, especially
ready
with the
to stop.
injuries.
Yeah, and too many games. We've discussed it a million times. So injuries are just part of the season right now. A lot of injuries is part
Yeah.
of just every team's season
It goes
right
back
now.
to the discussion we were having on McKennie and his renewal. I mean, yeah, that's a great squad player to have. If the details are fine and it is going to be close to the same money he's on. He's getting a bit of a boost, which is still a very low salary. He's getting paid as a rotational player. And this season, he's actually giving you more because he's been crucial this year.
It just seems like a non-issue.
It is a non-issue. It's an absolute non-issue. The guy
And
is a
we
squad
have
player,
issues.
but he's a squad player that could play multiple roles, which is great to have as a squad player. It's a non-issue. It's a non-issue. And that's all there is.
And he's a starter because he's doing his job. He's replacing all the injured guys wherever they are.
Yeah, pretty much. Colo, Dusan, Conceição, Cambiasso. How many out of these four will stay or leave? I can see all four departing. You know what? It could quite easily be all four.
I need to keep Cambiasso. I need to keep Cambiasso.
I think the other three are gone, but Cambiasso stays.
Yeah. Unless I don't see Dusan lowering his salary.
I believe you might see all four go. You might see all four go.
I would say three are definitely out. 3 out of those 4 are definitely out.
Yeah, I want to see Conceição stay. I don't believe we're gonna retain.
Mm-hmm.
And Alex,
can I
you be bringing
piggyback
up
that
what's with
last one,
the
Berto?
Chico post. Again, who's he talking about? But we'll see.
Berto,
Sev?
just to play devil's advocate on that you said you think like out of those 4 players, who do you think is going to stay? Let's go on a step further. Who do you want to stay out of those 4?
Conceição and Cambiasso, I would want to stay.
Right. Okay. So I'm not.
It always depends. Like, I mean, I get funny when we talk about like sales and players and stuff because it's like this team is far from complete for me. very, very far from complete. So if we have to say goodbye to like a player and get a lot of capital, I also understand not having faith that we spend it properly. But whether we spend it properly or not, ultimately is just showing up on the pitch and what happens on the pitch. But this is my major problem with this year and Thiago Motta. I would go back in the summer and I would probably do everything all over again because I thought those signings were great. I mean,
I had no issues with them.
Do you want to sign guys when they're in form or when they're bigger question marks? I mean, Luis was on fantastic seasons, wasn't injured since 2021. You're going to tell me that when we sign, oh man, this guy is brutal. Like, no, he's a baller. He's going to get hurt all year. Guy hasn't been injured. It's like, what are we talking about? When you're talking about Cope Miners, one of the top 5 midfielders for 3 years on the trot, I have a problem with that because hindsight is 2020. And it's just, it's garbage. Whether you don't like the price or not, these guys were in form. So if you're throwing away money, okay, you're buying cheaper players, but they haven't proven anything. There's risk in that too. And you know what? We did hit on a lot of guys. Even Gonzalez had, 17 goal contributions last season or whatever for Fiorentina. It's like, I don't believe that the roster is as bad as what Motta was getting out of them. The signings all made sense to me, and it made sense financially for where we are and where we're trying to get. So the positive is, I don't think we have a major roster issue. I don't think it needs an overhaul by any means. Our finances are moving in the right direction, so we're not screwed moving in the future, even though many are trying to paint a picture as if we are. No, we are not. The numbers look good. At least that's moving in the right direction, and we can act. But in terms of making a big sale, what's on the backside of it? Because I'm open, even if I don't want to, I'm open to making a bigger sale if it means it's better for the group overall. So if you have to sell one strong player and you're bringing in 3 potentially, okay, who are those 3? What can we do with it? But we have so many question marks right now that it's difficult to think about it. And a lot of fans don't have the stomach for it right now to talk Mercado because we know we need a change in upper management. We need a coach who is actually going to be this team's coach. And it would be nice to figure that out with a summer Mercado to actually prepare for it. And that's the reality of where we're at. So it's very difficult when we talk about players and Mercados and everything because we don't
there are so many issues before you even get to who you buy that you have to solve. Those questions can't be answered.
No.
Starting with who the management is.
Yeah.
Who's our sporting director? We don't even know that.
Well, it might not even be Giuntoli, according to some reports, but others claim that now with Scandavino in charge, I would rather give in the reins to Scangavino. Holy man. At least we'd have a sponsor. It'd be the AJC. My goodness. Who is the biggest right player, wrong time for you at Juventus? Easy one for me. Easy.
Oh. Wrong time. I mean, gotta go back to the banter era. I think it's Diego. I really, really love Diego. I was so psyched when he came to Juve, and it just wasn't the right time.
Cristiano Ronaldo.
I'm gonna go Ronaldo.
Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yeah, well, Ronaldo is probably the right answer.
He was like a couple years.
COVID.
Couple years from being the wrong time, man. It's easily Cristiano Ronaldo. Would have been friggin' complete. Are you kidding me? Even a couple of years prior, it was the wrong time.
So let's say not Ronaldo, since he's apparently the obvious answer.
Yeah, Diego would be high up on the list if it's not Cristiano.
Can I say Higuain?
I mean, you could, but I don't know.
I mean, he kind of did the best that he could when
he was great. I had no problems with.
I really loved him.
Yeah.
I
I
love
wish we
him
would have
a lot.
gotten.
For some reason, I feel like if we had him 2 years earlier, it would
I
have been
wish we
even
would have
better.
had the Tevez 2 years earlier.
Tevez is another one. That's a good one.
Yeah, but he did great.
See,
They
He
both
came
did.
in at the exact right time.
Yeah.
if we
Well,
don't
that's
do
true.
Ronaldo, eh? Yeah, I'd probably go back for Diego. I'm trying to think of some others. Yeah. I don't know. I'd probably go with that. Some are saying Pirlo. 2 years earlier, we would have had a couple Champions Leagues.
Would have had to pay 40 million for him as well.
You know who's another one? Oh, and somebody just wrote it. Where did I see it? I would have went with Di Maria.
Actually, Di Maria is a good shout.
That's a good shout. Who wrote it?
His
Somebody
time
wrote it
pissed
in
me
here.
off because it was like a
RB
fucking
maybe?
vacation for him. That bastard.
Yeah, RB wrote it. Yeah, that's a good shout.
I can't get out of my mind the two back-to-back offsides late in the match from Cambiasso. Does that lack of awareness from the elite fullback concern? I was so upset at him staring up the line and still being offside. Like whenever any professional does that and you're as far offside as he was, it drives me. I get this migraine instantly. Like when I see players looking up the line there, I was
Especially
very
him.
frustrated with that tuna, but Cambiasso's been out for a while and whatever. We'll give him a benefit of the doubt. But yeah, I don't know. It was a weird season for Cambiasso. I was really looking forward to this climb from him. And we were seeing it. And then the Mota thing was just a mess. It was just a mess. And it wasn't good for anybody. And it sucks. It sucks that it went that route. But I think he's one of the guys that was clearly affected. I'm hoping that that's the case, especially if he stays, because we need that guy to cook. Everybody, drop the likes. We are getting close to the nitty gritty. We're going to try to machine gun a few of these out here. If we get Conte, you're still erected, Sned. Holy smokes. You might have to go seek some medical attention if you're still erected. If we get Conte, who are your ideal signings? Please not Lukaku. So I guess ideal signings with the targets that we have. I guess that would rule Osimhen out since he didn't want him around. So he would be out.
I could say this. Conte loves a big power striker. And we kind of have a big power striker. So does that change anything?
Nah. I think Dusan ran his
He's
course.
gone, man. The contract wrote the story on that one for a long time.
I don't know.
I think
I don't think they can go that route, but I would like a Jokeres or one of those guys.
Oh yeah.
I would probably go for Udoji. I think he's the type of player who's going to kill it for someone like Conte. I don't know. Our midfield is fine. Like if you get him Tonali and I don't know Udoji and someone else, Cesco maybe will be cheaper than Jokeres.
If you get a Tonali, what's Coop doing?
No idea.
Well, I think
Douglas
Luiz is more. Douglas Luiz is more on the outs than Cope Miners is, and that's because of the attention that he still gets. Lorenzo Luca is a name I'd throw out there for Conte. That would be a Conte-esque type, big striker, like big target. That would probably be a play.
Yeah, I got to start watching more Udinese games so I could get on this guy.
No, you don't. It's fine. Do you think a small club Arsenal or someone else will come in for Dusan this summer? There's going to be teams coming in for Dusan, for sure. For sure.
I would aim for Chelsea, just a swap with Vega, however possible. Maybe we need to throw in some money, but that's what I would look for.
So Mitch saying, so in summer, Luiz out, Chico out, Colo out, Vega out, Cambiasso out, Dusan out, Milik out, Imbangula out. So another rebuild year coming. Well, I mean, It's not like it's another one. I mean, we are currently in a rebuild. We've been in a rebuild. This was literally year 0 because we never committed to it before. We never committed to actually retooling and rebuilding properly. It was a ton of patchwork. We've been over this quite a bit, but the contract scenario was absolutely disgusting with the mess that they left. So we are in a rebuild. It's not like another year coming. We are still rebuilding. It's not like you rebuild 1 year and you're done. It's like a rebuild can be a couple seasons.
Who do we have coming back from Rome?
What's
Do we
that?
have an interest? Who do we have coming back from loan?
Oh, from
Facundo,
loan.
right?
So here we go. I'm glad you
Facundo,
brought
right?
that up. There's a video coming out for everybody, but here's your loan. Okay. Where the hell is it? I had it. Oh yeah. Okay. Facundo Gonzalez. He's got a lot of praise from the guys at Feyenoord. However, he's only played 269 minutes, but they do have nothing but good things to say. He's set to come back. Diogo Jalo is set to come back, but he hasn't even played since February 24th, and he's not even getting called on squad list. He's set to come back. Filip Kostic, 1,508 minutes for Fenerbahce, 21 appearances, 17 starts, getting team of the week once, 1 goal, 4 assists. Fenerbahce wants to keep him, so we'll see if we can get him retained. Artur, 312 minutes so far with Girona, 7 appearances, 3 starts. He's enjoying himself there, has nothing but good things to say. Nobody knows where Girona stands as of yet. Remember that we also renewed him, extended him for 1 year this season before sending him out, spreading out the remaining year of that salary potentially, maybe to make things easier. We'll wait to see there. Hans Nicolucci Caviglia, it is finalized. Venezia has picked him up. 2,150 minutes, 25 starts, team of the week once, 4 goals, 2 assists. Bye-bye. Deschilio, 781 minutes, 16 appearances, 7 starts, 1 goal. Wonder who he scored against, and 1 clean sheet that he was a part of. Stefano Gori. So,
Who?
Stefano Gori, goalkeeper for Spezia in Serie B. He has 16 appearances, 10 clean sheets in those 16 appearances. Okay? We got him for $3 million in 2020. We got a gem on our hands, hey? No, that's 6 loans since we got him, and he's 29 friggin' years old. Madonna, we found Pinsolio's backup. Okay, so when Pinsolio leaves, Stefano Gori, in you come, okay? Then we get to Fabio Miretti.
40 chess.
Fabio Miretti will be returning, okay? 1,614 minutes, 24 appearances, 21 starts, 3 goals, 3 assists, team of the weeks once. He'll return, but will we keep him?
What
We'll
about
see.
Piazza? Is he returning?
And then
Oh,
you have
no.
Nicolo Fagioli. We all thought it was this conditional obligation that if Fiorentina reaches European spots, well, yeah, it is a conditional obligation, but they still have option, and they're going to take it no matter what. And that's a kick in the junk because we did it for an absolute mutt that should have been kicked out before that even happened. And that is Thiago Motta. That sucks. That is actually a kick right here in Le Coglioni, okay?
Yeah, who? But that's got to be on Giuntoli. I don't think Motta decides the options and all that stuff, like player option, club
Fagioli
option.
wasn't getting minutes. Why do you think he wanted to leave?
No, I know, I get that part. I'm saying, but who?
We should have never followed him, and Thiago Motta should have been kicked out sooner. But they all made a mess of this, and now it's just an absolute joke. It was a mismanagement, and that's why even the guys above Giuntoli are idiots, claiming that, oh, no, we don't like any of this stuff that went down. Guess who had the power of veto? You guys. Just like Elken, when he gave Scanavino full control, said he's had the power to sign off on everything since day one. Well, you know what? That's a major mismanagement.
that's the where I do blame Giuntoli. I don't
Yeah.
hold a lot of blame on him, but that one he should have told Mota earlier. I don't care that you like this guy or not. Enough. I got rid of everyone you asked so far. That's what you have. Work with that, and you have to use it.
And it's like I said all along, you know, that's where they all screwed up, is giving this guy that much power. That Rugani couldn't be kept. You didn't have depth, even though it means nothing on the books. Your captain, you sent him packing back to Brazil, which was detrimental to the locker room completely, and we saw that. It's just all these goodbyes because of Mota. What? There was one goodbye that should have happened the entire time, and we dragged our ass on it. Friggin' mutt. And now I'm all fired up. But listen, no room for error moving forward. We talked about the schedule. We got to get to this one, you guys, okay? Because this is what it's going to come down to. You're going to have a back-to-back, okay, of Bologna and Lazio for Juventus, which is going to be massive. So these next three for Juve, I'm telling you, Lecce on the 12th, Parma on the 21st, and Monza on the 27th, okay? You've got the home for Lecce and Monza, and you're away to Parma. Minimum 7 points. The aim has to be 9.
Oh, nine. Nothing
I'm going straight 9.
The aim has to be 9. The minimum that you could take is 7. 2 wins and a draw is the absolute minimum that you could take there. Of course, we have to aim for 9. And they should be 9 points. But should is a brutal word. And it gets you in a lot of trouble. And it's gotten us in a lot of trouble this year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How confident are you on a scale of 1 to 5 that we take all 9? Omer, scale of 1 to 5. Chat, scale of 1 to 5.
5.
Whoa.
We take all of them.
Sev.
5.
God damn it, you got me too.
Let's go. Let's go. Especially with how crappy this league is this year.
And you know the like it was a draw yesterday by any way you look at it. You can look at it in a positive and a negative way. Because all the teams around us, and Bologna and Napoli still needs to play today against each other. Everyone dropped points.
Yeah.
Everyone. So
I've
we had a good
all
chance
along,
there.
man. There is nobody that is convincing.
Bologna
Bergen
had
coming in
the
here.
drop
I am
schedule.
very confident with Tudor. I love that. I'm going to say this. I appreciate the changes that are being made. Yes, we still have some shortcomings. It's only been 2 games. But I do like the approach. I like that we're not messing about at the back. If we're unsure, it's no nonsense. And it's get the ball forward, regroup, restructure. The focus seems to be at a level that I think will be good. This Roma one, this doesn't make or break us. These next 3, critical. So my last question as we wrap things up, everybody in the chat and you too, what do you want to see for the starting lineup against Lecce the next match? Omer, your starting lineup, then we'll get Sev's.
If Gotti's back, then I want him back in the lineup. If not, then what we saw. If Cambiaso is fit, 100% on the left, Wea on the right, McKennie on the bench, Coop on the bench. You know what? Give me Thuram, Locatelli, Chico, Muani, and Yildiz.
All right. Sev?
I'm going to exactly agree, minus, we said it earlier, I want to see Colo and Dusan, both of them. Okay. I want to use Colo up on that right side maybe, and then Dusan with Yildiz on the left. Okay.
I'm going to go...
I had no issues with this either.
I'm going to go Di Gregorio, everything the same at the back, Kelly, Vega, Kalulu. I'm going to go Wea on the right, Cambiaso on the left, Locatelli, Thuram. I'm going to go Yildiz. I'm going to go Chico, and I'm going to go Colomwani. That's how I want to see us go at Lecce, and I want us to take care of business in that first half, and then you can make your changes to shut her down. But yeah, I like it. And you know what? Get Adzic in that fucking game against Lecce. Take care of business first half, and then I want to see Adzic.
Yeah, I was gonna say like
game.
60th minute. Yeah.
You know, so I like that. Tuna, damn it, I love that. And that's on your birthday too. Tanti auguri go out to Tuna. Okay, let's go. You guys, Omer, Sev, absolute pleasure. Like I said, a mixed bag with that game yesterday, but now we got to get serious. We got to rack up the points against these mutts, and it starts with Lecce. Let's give them a big fat te. Okay, Locatelli. Hope you enjoyed that one. We got to wait another couple of years according to the track record, so the next one will come in 2027. Okay, but enjoy it for now. No, hopefully that's one of more frequent goals to come from Locatelli. As far as the attack goes in general, I don't care who it is. Adzic, Nico, Yildiz, Kolo, Vlahovic. Figure it out, okay? Let's go. Let's hit Lecce hard from the start. You guys are amazing as always. Please drop a like. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And as always, I'll keep you in the loop on the news in this week to come. And then we're back at it at the weekend for Lecce. As always, no matter what, fino alla fine, forza Juventus. Ciao tutti and enjoy your weeks. Take care.